Good evening. First tonight, West Yorkshire Police is being urged to open an investigation into a UK company which sold a substance online now reportedly linked to at least 57 suicides.
Well, one of those who died was Joe Nihill, a 23-year-old from Leeds, who ended his own life after purchasing the substance which was suggested to him on a pro-suicide forum. Well, since his death, Calendar has reported on his family's campaign for the closure of the site and an investigation into the seller of that substance, which we're choosing not to name.
Now, the family's MP is backing those calls and, in a letter to West Yorkshire Police seen by ITV News, says it appears deeply concerning that a case has not been pursued. Amelia Beckett has this exclusive report.
They are piles of evidence which detail a terrifying online world that Catherine's son Joe was able to freely access. He died after visiting a pro-suicide forum where members encouraged him to take his own life and told him how to do it. Since then, his mum and sister-in-law Melanie have dedicated their lives to stopping those behind it.
Suicide isn't the answer. It's temporary. It's a temporary crisis, and with the right help, they can get through it. And we've heard that so many times. We speak to people that were on there, that are now off there, and they are doing brilliant. And that they just need help and support.
Rather than someone dragging them down?
Yeah, and telling them your life's not worth living, it's not going to change. Do it.
On the forum, they found messages to Joe telling him about a substance he could use to kill himself. We're not naming it, but he was able to purchase it online for less than £10 from a seller in the UK.
Now, this substance is legal and it's not regulated, but after Greater Manchester Police notice an increase in suicides linked to it, it's reported they found at least 56 other deaths, all connected to the same seller who sold it to Joe.
They told us they investigated 3 and say they found no evidence of wrongdoing, but Catherine and Melanie say Joe's death was never looked into and now want West Yorkshire Police to carry out their own investigation.
Why is it you want another investigation?
Because this person has ultimately sold a substance that has killed somebody. They've used it to end their life, and it's out there. It's known. It's discussed that this substance will do that. It's not a common substance. There's only a number of purposes for it. He should be checking why people are purchasing it.
We tried to put those concerns to the seller ourselves. We did get through, but he told us he didn't want our conversation recorded. Instead, he sent us a statement saying, "In early April 2020, we were horrified to learn that this substance was being discussed on suicide websites with detailed instructions on how to commit suicide. We immediately withdrew our listing the same day and contacted a number of other sellers to request that they stop selling it when a reason for purchase could not be reasonably ascertained. We also then assisted the UK Home Office Protect team in identifying other sellers." But Joe's MP shares his family's concerns, and now he's written to West Yorkshire Police requesting they open a full investigation.
What's very concerning indeed, that the seller has been linked to 200 sales across Europe of this substance and linked to 56 deaths. Our understanding is that Joe's death specifically hasn't been looked into by the police. So we think it's fundamentally important that happens.
Joe's suicide note was a plea to protect others from what he found online. 4 years later, it remains his family's sole purpose.
This is like the last thing that I can do what he's asked us to do. And
That's what this is all about.
And I don't want any other parent to find their child like I found mine.
It's a terribly upsetting story, isn't it? Well, Amelia joins us in the studio now. You've been following this story for some time, Amelia. Why has it taken so long to get to this point?
Well, this is a really complex and emotive case, and one that has
two separate points. The first is that website that Melanie and Catherine have wanted banned for some time and which I've previously reported on. The second is the seller of that substance, which was purchased through a completely separate website. Now, we've spoken to West Yorkshire Police this evening. They told us that the staff members who would be related to the letter that Richard Bergen has sent them weren't in today, but we understand that they have received it and they will be looking into it. Now, I've spoken to Catherine and Melanie this evening. They told me they are pleased with this update, but of course want confirmation of that police inquiry. Of course, the seller, who you heard from in my report, has always insisted that he's done nothing wrong.
Amelia, thank you very much, and I'm sure you'll keep us updated if there are any developments with that.
And if you've been affected by any of the issues raised in Amelia's report, you can find links to a range of advice and support services on our website. Just go to itv.com/calendar.